Hey guys, it's KJ from the Scariest Movie Ever channel on YouTube, and I wanted to make a short video on an observation I just made recently. I thought this is really interesting. It's a subject I cover quite a bit here on the channel, and that's the whole idea that not only is the veil lifting, we're seeing a lot more of the symbolic language playing out in our media, our entertainment. We're also seeing a lot of things happening in media and entertainment that are directly mirroring reality, things that are happening in real life and vice versa. I've covered this in many different videos, a lot of different subjects, but in this case I want to focus on a new TV series called Dig. It's about an apocalyptic set of Jews, a desert-dwelling Christian-type cult, a stolen Torah breastplate rumored to be a telephone directly to God, and then there's a baby cow named Red. I wanted to talk about Red. The overall idea is about a secretive society that's dedicated to restoring the Jewish temple on Jerusalem's Temple Mount. And throughout this series there is tons of Jewish numerology, or gematria. And that's most likely because the ancient cultures, especially biblical era Jews, practiced numerology. It's the belief that numbers have specific religious or spiritual significance. And there's a whole branch of study in Judaism called gematria, by which letters of the Hebrew alphabet are given numerical values and scholars add them up and search for meaning. And after watching a few episodes of Dig, it's become really obvious to me that the creators of this show know all about this stuff and more. In this series, there's a little calf they've named Red. It's a red heifer. Some Jews believe that when the Messiah comes, he'll restore the temple by sacrificing a pure red heifer. And this idea plays largely in the show. Now this is why I thought it was interesting. This just happened on March 31st of 2015. Just happened about a week ago or so. But a fully red cow, which appears to be usable as the biblical red heifer, has been attracting increasing attention on a small farm outside of Lakewood, New Jersey. There's a red heifer, which is necessary to produce the ash needed for the ritual purification process that's essential to performing the service in the temple in Jerusalem. Now there have been 9 in all of history so far, and it's been said that the 10th would be prophetic, that the 10th will be the one to be used in the third temple. So it's interesting, we have this show that's all about the apocalypse, about secret societies, about ushering in the Messiah. This story here where they found this red heifer, potentially the 10th one, which would play a huge role in prophecy. They find this red heifer. So it's interesting. We find this mirroring effect. We find this duality. We find that on this television show all about the apocalypse and ushering in this Messiah, that they have a red heifer they have to protect. Now we have this news story in real life, a red heifer discovered, but potentially one with prophetic implications. Is art imitating life, or is life imitating art? It's interesting whenever you look back throughout history and you look at the history of this red heifer biblically, because depending on where you stand on this issue, the arrival of this cow, specifically if it's the 10th in Jerusalem, it could be bad news or good news. On the one hand, coming at a time of genocidal nuclear threats against Israel from Iran, the cow could be seen as a sign of apocalyptic times. And on the other hand, it could also be seen as a sign of the imminent arrival of the Messiah, whose task it is to defeat the forces of evil and inaugurate an era of peace. Either way, it's very interesting that once again we find all these things in the Bible playing out in our real life in this generation at a really fast rate. So once again that veil is lifting. Once again we find these connections, not just to this alternate reality, but to our perceived real reality. Put on your seatbelts, folks. It's getting crazy out there.